Your operator's license. Any person other than a non-resident student, a tourist, or a non-resident member of the armed forces who has lived in this state for 90 consecutive days shall be deemed a resident of North Dakota for the purpose of driver licensing. You may operate a Class D or M vehicle with an operator's license from another state for a period of 60 days after you become a resident of North Dakota. Then you are required to take the necessary tests to obtain a North Dakota operator's license. Class A, B, or C vehicle operators have 30 days in which to acquire a North Dakota commercial driver's license. Proof of North Dakota resident address is required. By knowing and understanding the rules of the road, and by demonstrating your ability to operate your vehicle, you will earn the privilege of driving in North Dakota. Except for the exemptions listed, all North Dakota residents must have a valid North Dakota operator's license or permit in order to drive in North Dakota. For your operator's license or permit to be valid, it must be signed by you. You must have this license or permit in your possession every time you drive. Exemptions. 1. Non-residents at least 16 years of age who have in their possession valid licenses from their home state or country, including members of the armed forces while stationed in North Dakota. A non-resident must be at least 16 years of age to drive in North Dakota. 2. Employees of the United States government or North Dakota National Guard while operating a government vehicle on official business. 3. North Dakota residents on active duty in the armed forces outside North Dakota. If these people held a valid operator's license when they left the state, it will remain valid until 30 days after discharge or separation from the service. People who cannot get a license. 1. Those under 16 years of age unless eligible for a restricted license. Page 4. 2. People whose licenses are revoked or suspended in this or any other state. 3. Applicants who have been determined to be addicted to drugs or alcohol, or those considered to be a hazard to public safety on our roadways because of mental or physical disability. 4. Persons who have a history of epilepsy, blackouts, seizures, fainting spells, or other lapses of consciousness. Exception to number 4. The person in question has had no seizures for at least 6 consecutive months and is willing to submit to the required medical examination. Permits. Instruction permits allow you to legally practice driving. Anytime you operate with an instruction permit, a person with a valid license for the class of vehicle being driven, who is at least 18 years of age and has had at least 3 years of driving experience, must ride in the seat beside you. An individual other than the supervising driver and the permit holder may not be in the front seat unless the vehicle has only a front seat, in which case the supervising driver must be seated next to the permit holder. To receive a permit, you must first pass the knowledge examination and the visual screen test. All applicants must be at least 14 years of age. Applicants under 18 years of age must have parent or legal guardian approval and sponsorship. The sponsorship must be signed by the father, mother, or legal guardian. Guardianship papers required. If the father, mother, or legal guardian is unable to appear, they may designate, through a notarized document, an individual temporarily authorized to sign. Financial liability remains with the father, mother, or legal guardian. If there is no living parent or legal guardian, another adult swearing responsibility for the minor may sign the sponsorship. Individuals who are 14 or 15 years old must hold the instruction permit for 12 months or to the age of 16, whichever comes first, but no less than 6 months prior to completing the road test or waiving the road test for an operator's license. Individuals who are 16 or 17 must hold the instruction permit for 6 months or to the age of 18, whichever comes first, prior to completing the road test or waiving the road test for an operator's license. Individuals under 16 must complete a minimum of 50 hours of supervised practice driving in variable conditions. Your parent or legal guardian must then accompany you to the test site on the day of your road test and sign that you have completed this requirement. Note, this is in addition to the formal driver's education requirement. Road test waiver. The Class D road test may be waived by presenting a North Dakota Driving School Certificate of Course Completion, certifying you have completed a minimum of 30 hours of classroom driver training and a minimum of 6 hours of actual behind-the-wheel driver training that has been approved for waiver purposes by the Director of the North Dakota Department of Transportation. The Class D road test may also be waived by presenting a North Dakota Department of Public Instruction Student Completion Certificate, certifying you have completed a minimum of 30 hours of classroom driver training and a minimum of 6 hours of actual behind-the-wheel driver training that has been approved for waiver purposes by the Director of the North Dakota Department of Transportation. It is a 2-point penalty on your driving record for driving in violation of the conditions of an instruction permit. Additional penalties and statutory fees are listed in the North Dakota Century Code, NDCC, Chapter 39-06.1, Disposition of Traffic Offenses. A student enrolled in the high school driver education program may operate the driver education vehicle without an operator's license or permit while under the supervision of a certified operator training instructor, if the school district sponsoring the training program has appropriate insurance coverage for the student operator. Page 5. To be eligible for behind-the-wheel training, an applicant must be at least 14 years of age. Motorcycle. If you are 14 or 15 years old, you may receive a license to operate a motorcycle by successfully completing an approved motorcycle safety course and passing the motorcycle knowledge test. You must present a motorcycle safety course completion certificate to obtain a license. Motorized bicycle permits. To operate a motorized bicycle, you must be at least 14 years of age or older and have in your immediate possession a valid operator's license, motorized bicycle permit, temporary permit, instruction permit, or motorcycle permit. Applying for a license or permit. Applications for an operator's license or permit are made with the Driver's License Division of the Department of Transportation. 1. Proof of identification is required. All applicants must present proof of current name, date of birth, and legal presence in the United States. Acceptable forms of identification are U.S. birth certificate, state certified, government issued. U.S. territory birth certificate, certified by issuing authority. Valid unexpired U.S. passport or valid unexpired U.S. passport card. Report of birth abroad issued by the U.S. Department of State. Certificate of naturalization. Certificate of citizenship. Valid unexpired permanent resident card. Valid, unexpired employment authorization card, temporary status. Valid, unexpired foreign passport with I-94, temporary status. Valid I-94 card stamped refugee, parole, or asylee, temporary status. No photocopies. No hospital certificates. All documents must be original or certified copies only. If your current name is different than the name on your identity document, you will need to bring additional proof of your legal name. Acceptable documents for proof of name change are a certified marriage certificate, a certified adoption document, or a certified court order authorizing a name change. No photocopies, court seal required. You will not be allowed to test or obtain a North Dakota permit, license, or non-driver identification card without proper identification. Applicants born in North Dakota may obtain a copy of their certified birth certificate by contacting Vital Records at the North Dakota Department of Health. Visit www.ndhealth.gov/vital for details. 2. Proof of Social Security Number. As authorized by NDCC 39-06-07 and 39-06-03.1, all applications for permit, license, or identification card must contain the individual's Social Security number. The document must contain name and full Social Security number. Proof is required by presenting one of the following documents: Social Security card, actual blue and white card, W-2 form, SSA 1099 form, non-SSA 1099 form, pay stub. 3. Proof of North Dakota residence address. Proof of North Dakota residence address, place of domicile, is required by presenting two documents from the list below. All documents presented for satisfactory proof of resident address must be the most currently issued document. Page 6. Acceptable documents for proof of address are most current government-issued property tax statement, current mortgage, lease, or rental document, current homeowners or renters insurance policy, current utility bill, electricity, gas, water, sewer, cable, recycle, school or college transcript issued within 6 months, current financial statement issued by financial institution, government entity, government-regulated entity, current pay stub or statement from employer, current vehicle insurance policy or statement, non-expired current resident certificate or identification card with physical address issued by a North Dakota tribal agency, current formal resident statement issued by property owner or renter, current relief agency or shelter certification. All documents must contain your name and physical residence address. Post office boxes are not acceptable for residence address. Examinations. Cooperation with the examiner. The applicant must at all times cooperate with the examiners by following their instructions. Licensed applicants must furnish their own vehicle for the road test. The vehicle equipment will be inspected. All equipment must be in good working order and display current registration. Pets, except medical alert or service animals, passengers, and electronic devices will not be allowed in the vehicle during the road test. In order to pass, you must follow instructions, keep in the proper lane, give the proper signals, parallel park your vehicle, demonstrate good driving posture, and obey all traffic signs and traffic laws. If you fail any of the tests, you will not be allowed to retake the examination the same day. All applicants less than 16 years of age must be accompanied by one of their parents or a legal guardian when they appear before the examiner for the road test. The parent or legal guardian will be required to sign an authorization stating the need for the child to operate a vehicle without being accompanied by an adult. If you are 14 or 15 years old, you may be issued a permit to operate your parents', guardians', grandparents', siblings', aunts', or uncle's Class D non-commercial vehicle. You may operate a vehicle that is not your parents' or guardians' to take the road test. You must present a driver education certificate of training when you report for the road test. To obtain the certificate, you must complete 30 hours of classroom and 6 hours of behind-the-wheel training through the Department of Public Instruction, or complete 6 hours of behind-the-wheel training through a commercial driver training school approved by the North Dakota Department of Transportation. Go to www.dot.nd.gov for a list of approved driving schools. See page 4, Road Test Waiver, for Certificate of Course Completion and Student Completion Certificate requirements. Organ, tissue, and eye donation. Thousands of people are waiting for a life-saving or life-enhancing organ, tissue, or cornea transplant. Licensed drivers, or those at least 14 years of age and applying for their driver's license permit in the state of North Dakota, can make a personal commitment to organ, tissue, and eye donation by checking the Yes box on the application form. You may also register online at www.dot.nd.gov. This donor indication serves as your consent. It is important to discuss your decision with your family members and make them aware of your wishes. Page 7. Organs and tissues that can be donated include heart, lungs, liver, kidney, pancreas, intestines, skin, heart valves, bone, and tendons and ligaments. Organs are allocated to recipients based upon medical urgency, length of time waiting, genetic matching, and geography. Anyone can be a donor, regardless of age and health conditions. The donation process does not prevent an open casket funeral. Donors are treated with great care and dignity, and there is no charge for donation to the donor's family. If you are under the age of 18, your parents will be asked to affirm your decision. For more information about organ, tissue, and eye donation, contact LifeSource at 1-888-536-6283 or visit www.donatelifend.org. Minor's driver license. 1. Upon successful completion of the road test, a 15-year-old will be issued a restricted Class D operator's license. While in possession of a restricted Class D operator's license, the driver is restricted to operating his or his parents', guardians', grandparents', siblings', aunts' or uncles' vehicles. 2. At age 15, when in possession of a restricted Class D operator's license, the individual is not allowed to operate a vehicle without his or her parent, legal guardian, or an individual at least 18 years of age between the later of sunset or 9 o'clock p.m. and 5 o'clock a.m. The only exception to this is driving directly to or from work, an official school activity, or a religious activity. 3. At age 16, the restricted Class D operator's license transitions to an unrestricted license. 4. Anyone, regardless of age, who is operating a vehicle with an instruction permit and licensed drivers under the age of 18 are prohibited from using electronic communication devices while driving. This includes a device to talk, compose, read, or send electronic messages. The only exception is to obtain emergency assistance to prevent a crime that appears to be committed or in the reasonable belief that an individual's life or safety is in danger. 5. The director shall cancel the permit or license of a minor under 18 years of age who accumulates 6 or more points on their driving record or commits an alcohol-related offense or a drug-related offense while operating a motor vehicle. This includes minor in possession or minor in consumption of alcoholic beverage. 6. A minor under 18 whose permit or license has been canceled in this manner will be considered as never having had a permit or license before. An instruction permit will be issued after successful completion of the knowledge and vision tests. A road test will be administered after successful completion of driver's education and the required holding period of the permit. See page 1. In the event of a cancellation, driver's education requirements may be met by completing 30 hours of classroom and 6 hours of behind-the-wheel training through the Department of Public Instruction, or 6 hours of behind-the-wheel training through a commercial driver training school approved by the North Dakota Department of Transportation, or by completing an approved Internet driver education course and 30 hours of driving supervised by a parent or legal guardian. 7. The points total does not automatically go back to zero when the cancellation requirements are fulfilled. See page 36 for point reduction. Restrictions. Depending upon your particular capabilities as a driver, your permit or license may be restricted. Standard restrictions. 1. Corrective lenses. 2. Outside mirrors. 3. Automatic transmission. 4. Special hand controls. Page 8. 5. Daylight driving only. 6. Proof of financial responsibility. 9. Other. Explanation of restriction will be printed on reverse side of permit or license. If you permanently lose the use of a hand, arm, foot, leg, or eye, you must report it to Driver's License Division, North Dakota Department of Transportation, 608 East Boulevard Avenue, Bismarck, North Dakota, 58505-0750, NDCC 39-06-14. Renewals. You may be eligible to renew your license. To determine your eligibility, please visit www.dot.nd.gov. Your present license is valid for a certain period of time, depending on the date on which you apply. The license expires on midnight of your birthday or the duration of stay date if an immigration document is presented for proof of identity, not to exceed the usual licensing cycle period. You may renew your license 10 months prior to expiration without losing any time remaining on the old license. All renewal applicants must submit to a vision test at the time of renewal or present a certificate of vision obtained from a physician or optometrist. The certificate must not be more than 6 months old. For more information, contact any driver's license office or the Driver's License Division, North Dakota Department of Transportation, 608 East Boulevard Avenue, Bismarck, North Dakota, 58505-0750. Duplicate licenses and permits. You must apply for a duplicate operator's license or permit if your license or permit is lost, contains any wrong information, or is mutilated so that it cannot be read. This is done by visiting a driver's license office. You must present proof of identity and documentary evidence for a name or date of birth change, such as a certified or amended birth certificate, certified marriage certificate, divorce decree, or legal name change through the court. You may be eligible for an online duplicate license. To determine your eligibility, please visit www.dot.nd.gov. Change of name or address. If you change your name or address, you must notify the Driver's License Division within 10 days. You must provide documentary evidence of the change. Please visit our website at www.dot.nd.gov for a list of acceptable documents. Registering your motor vehicle. North Dakota law requires that a motor vehicle be registered immediately in North Dakota when the owner or operator becomes a resident of the state or becomes gainfully employed in the state. 2 registration options are available. 1. Obtain a North Dakota title and purchase a vehicle license valid through the end of the registration period. We recommend this option if your present registration will expire during the time you expect to be in North Dakota. All vehicles must have liability insurance. Vehicle owners shall not permit a vehicle to be driven without a policy of liability insurance. As a driver, you should be sure that the vehicle you are driving is properly insured. 2. Purchase a temporary registration permit if the vehicle license from another state is still current and if you plan to be in North Dakota only a short time. The permits are available for 6 months or 12 months. A $10 service fee is charged in addition to the registration fee each time a permit is purchased or renewed. The vehicle registration card must be carried in the vehicle at all times. Contact the NDDOT Motor Vehicle Division at 701-328-2725 for all vehicle questions. Page 9. Classes of licenses. North Dakota has 5 classes of operators' licenses. Each class requires its own written exam and a demonstration of driving skill for that class of license. This manual prepares you for the Class D license only. Class A. Any combination of vehicles with a gross vehicle weight rating, GVWR, or gross vehicle weight of 26,001 pounds or more, whichever is greater, provided the vehicle being towed was a GVWR or gross vehicle weight of 10,001 pounds or more, whichever is greater. May also operate Class B, C, and D vehicle groups, but not Class M, unless endorsed. Class B. Any single vehicle with a GVWR or gross vehicle weight of 26,001 pounds or more, whichever is greater. May tow a vehicle not in excess of 10,000 pounds. May also operate Class C and D vehicle groups, but not Class M, unless endorsed. Class C. Any single vehicle with a GVWR of 26,000 pounds or less that is designated to transport 16 or more passengers, including the driver, or is transporting hazardous materials under 49 CFR Part 172, placarded material, and 42 CFR Part 73. May tow a vehicle not in excess of 10,000 pounds. May also operated a Class D vehicle, but not a Class M, unless endorsed. Class D. Any single vehicle less than 26,001 pounds GVWR may tow trailers not over 10,000 pounds GVWR. Note: must be 18 years of age or under farm exemption if combined weight exceeds 26,000 pounds. Trucks towing trailers over 10,000 pounds, provided the combined weight does not exceed 26,000 gross combination weight rating. Not valid for Class A, B, C, or M unless endorsed. An emergency vehicle, RV, camper, vehicle driven by active duty member for military purposes, or a vehicle towing a travel trailer being used solely for personal purposes may be driven with a Class D license. The following may also be operated on a Class D license. Farm exemption. 1. Age 15 may drive a farm vehicle within 150 miles of driver's farm, having a gross weight of not more than 50,000 pounds, when transporting agricultural products or farm supplies. 2. Any two-axle, tandem axle, or triple axle, or truck, tractor, farm vehicle controlled and operated by a farmer transporting agricultural products, farm machines, or farm supplies to or from a farm within 150 miles of the person's farm. Farm vehicles may tow a trailer, semi-trailer, or farm trailer except double or triple trailers, or, if under 18 years of age, a truck tractor. 3. Any farm vehicle operated by a farmer may transport hazardous material within 150 miles of the farm without a hazardous material endorsement on the operator's license. 4. Covered farm vehicles may also be operated on a Class D license. These are vehicles used for farm or ranch purposes that display either farm registration plates or are identified by a designation that clearly identifies the vehicle as a farm vehicle. In North Dakota, Form SFN 60860, available on our website at www.dot.nd.gov. A covered farm vehicle with a GVW or GVWR, whichever is greater, of more than 26,001 pounds may be operated within the state where it is registered, or if traveling outside of the state, within 150 air miles of the owner or operator's farm or ranch. Class M, any two- or three-wheeled motorcycle. Page 10.